I've been watching news on the border reopenings or potential border reopenings like a hawk recently because I really regret missing out on an opportunity back in the spring. Back in February, when we closed the border with China, and then it became apparent that COVID wasn't just limited to China, and it became apparent that other borders were going to close, and we were starting to work remotely already. I was thinking about packing up and going to Poland, where the cost of living was a whole lot cheaper, riding it out for a couple months, and coming back and saving a lot of expenses, right? And I didn't bite the bullet. The reason being that back home in the United States, a lot of people were losing their jobs, and I didn't want to miss out on the reopening when lots of job openings would open up. And so I didn't go, and I keep regretting it. I mean, there were good things that happened here in the United States as a result of me not going. I did make a number of important connections, and I enjoyed quite a number of events here. The Black Lives Matter protests in Seattle. There were certainly a number of important figures that I met over the last few months. But every time the idea of border reopenings, when Europe comes on the news, I always think back at that regret. So now I'm really watching the news because it looks like I might be able to continue working remotely. What would really be a dream come true is that we reopen the borders, but we don't reopen the offices where I work, and I can continue to work remotely and then relocate to Poland for a few months and make money at the American rate, but live at Poland kind of expenses, right? I'll probably have to sell my car, but that's all right. And then I'll just chill out in Poland working remotely. The only downside I see is that my working hours would be out of whack, right? I'd be working early mornings, but that's a very minor price to pay to be able to put aside a lot of investments, right? I've been eyeing platinum recently. I talked about this in recent videos. And also, there's a lot of great stuff in Poland. Certainly a lot more variety in food, and also I think the girls there are a lot more interesting too, right? So I've been really watching. What would really be a dream come true is that we reopen the borders for like a month, and then we realize it's not going to work. But I'm already in Poland. Now I'm stuck there for like a year working remotely. Oh my God, that would be a dream come true. I could really stack platinum and maybe even look for my future wife. And a lot of people there have healthier lifestyles too. I won't have to argue with people about people offering me junk food, right? Not as much as in the United States, at least, right? So I'm really watching the border reopenings. Maybe I shouldn't regret so much not leaving in March because there were important opportunities that I made here too, right? Anyways, just some food for thought if we were to reopen borders and you get a chance to work remotely.